Okay. All right, y'all. So after hours and years and decades and weeks of trying to understand, what is the real reason why they enjoy the cruelty? Because not every one of them are sadists and not every one of them are sociopaths, right? Or psychos. Um and this man, he just said it. He just said it, and I'm going to repeat it because it makes more sense than anything else that I've come up with and anything else I've heard. They're angry because the dream that they were sold did not manifest the way that it was supposed to. Only a few collectively have gotten out when technically every single person, that kind of person, has been told, yeah, you're going to be special too. But the funny part about it is that we can't all be special. And what this setup has done is given these folks the inability to deal with any type of adversity. I stubbed my toe. I worked for several years for a nonprofit organization. I was an HIV specialist. So I had the good fortune of learning about AIDS at the height of its epidemic. I was teaching people how to use contraceptives. And another thing that I learned, it was really a very interesting job. It was a really good job in terms of the people that I met and the education that I got. I learned so many things about sex that I didn't know. And as a matter of fact, that may have been my real true first introduction on what others would consider alternative lifestyles. I just think it's, whatever fits for you, right? I think each lifestyle is equal to the other. Nonetheless, during that time period, I worked for a resource center, and what we provided people with was like a permanent mailing address. We also were a conduit between agencies. The intentions were that when you came to us, we would try to get you as whole as possible. If you had a substance abuse issue, we tried to get you into a rehab program. If you needed housing, we tried to find housing, that sort of thing. But let me explain something to you that is going to both blow white folks' minds, especially these MAGA nuts, as well as men. This actually is for both of you. I got nothing but love and respect for women. Those women that were on substance abuse, that had substance abuse issues, I saw them last years longer than men. I'm going to be honest with you. I formed a lot of opinions about men during this time period. Those women fought tooth and nail. They weren't necessarily always the best mothers. If you have a substance issue or mental health issues or any combination thereof, you are not present all the time. That's just the way that it is. So you're quite right. They may not have necessarily been the best mothers, but they were definitely a mother, and they were there. I saw those women struggle with their habits, sometimes thousands of dollars a month habits, and still maintain for years longer than men could by themselves. The biggest issue that I have with men in general is the I stub my toe syndrome. A man gets knocked down and it takes him 10 years to get the fuck back up. A woman gets knocked down. She wipes the blood off her fucking nose and her mouth. She cries for a minute and she wipes those off too. And she gets the fuck up and keeps going because nobody gives a shit. Life just goes on without you. Participating is actually not as much of a choice as you think because it does shove you from behind. The craziest part about the situation that we're in collectively right now is that even if people wanted to give completely the fuck up, they cannot. It is amazing to me why other people are overly concerned with what other people are eating Thank God they're eating. When people are fed and housed and clothed, they're not trying to kill you. They're not trying to hurt you. All of this violence that you people keep talking about from these groups, and you think antagonizing them is going to make that better? What happens to you when you feel antagonized? If you were, for example, I went into the dollar store the other day to return some products that I had bought to get the house together. Now that the house is together, there were things that I could return. Hallelujah, I needed the money. And I walked in, and I've got an armful of stuff, and the lady behind the counter, actually everybody there at that moment happened to be Caucasian. And I'm standing there, and I was just really trying to make eye contact with her. My hands are full. Now she's talking, so of course I'm not going to interrupt the conversations that she's having, but my hands are full, and I'm needing her to make eye contact with me because I want to put the stuff down until it's my turn to speak. But she's not making any eye contact with me, and I'm black, and I don't need any sudden moves, right? So finally I was like, well, what the fuck am I? Just, am I invisible here? She said, well, I was helping the lady in front of you. I said, what did a fucking hello have to do with you helping that bitch? All you had to do was say hello. It's nastiness for no reason. She saw me. The girl at the next cash register, who had an entire line in front of her, noticed me. She made eye contact. She said hello. She was just being whatever she was being. I don't care. The point is that the nastiness, if somebody did that to you, you would be like, man, don't do me like that. And that's what you're doing to these people. Why do you feel like you need to antagonize people who are already suffering? Once people have nothing, I want you to hear me clearly. Once people have nothing, they have nothing to lose.